Let's bring in Tech N9ne and talk with him. Here he is. What's up, my man? How are you?
How do you do?
I'm doing good.
Hanging in there.
I was driving into work this morning, early this morning.
Okay.
We start the show live at 6:30, and I'm driving down 480, and I see this big tour bus driving.
Oh, yeah.
I pass it, and it has this trailer on it. It says strange music on the back.
That's me.
I go, what? I wonder who this is. And then later in the day, I see that same bus pull right up into our. Where were you last night?
Where was I last night? Sometime you tell the day by the bottle that you drink. Per Bon Jovi. Where was I? Oh, I was in Detroit last night.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, man. And it was turned out. It was turned out, man.
Does it get rough being on the road like that? I mean,
Totally.
People think, oh wow, that would be awesome to be on tour. I bet it is the first time you do it, but man, you've been doing this a while now.
A long while, man. You miss birthdays, your kids, you know what I mean? You miss a lot of time with your family. But we sacrifice all this to have more time with them in later days, I
Later
guess.
in life,
You know what I mean?
Make some money now while you can. You got to strike while the iron is hot.
Totally. And I got two 18-year-olds, so
Oh boy, they're sucking you dry with that money, aren't they?
Well, it's prom time now. You know what I'm saying? So they both going to prom. You know what I mean?
We just did an article about the cost of prom, and the cost is now skyrocketing. I mean, it's just ridiculous what people are spending to go to prom.
Yeah, my son, he wants to go to Fogo de Chao with his girl, and he wants to have a limo. You know what I'm saying? You got to, I think he got his tux free because he got other kids to come to the tuxedo spot. You know what I mean? So that was good.
There's almost probably also like, because you're his father, there's an expectation like, hey, that's Tech N9ne's kid. Like he's got to, ride in style almost, right?
Yeah, but the hard part is he's 18, and I was just talking to his chaperone the other day, and they said that he was trying to get a hotel room.
Oh.
Like, okay, here we go.
You can't blame him for that, though, right? I mean, guys are going to do that kind of stuff. I mean, you were doing that kind of stuff when you were a kid, right?
Oh, yeah, I was younger doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Were you a crazy kid?
Oh, totally, man.
Where'd you grow up?
Kansas City, Missouri, born and raised, man. You know what I mean?
So you're a big Chiefs fan then, probably.
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
Totally Chiefs fan.
Yeah, that was pretty wild what happened out there with that guy. What was his face?
Shot himself.
Belcher.
Belcher.
Yeah.
I can't believe that, man.
That's nuts.
I was on tour when it happened, man. I was doing a tour. It was like 90 shows in 99 days, and we heard that. It was like, whoa. And he killed his wife, and I don't know what's going on, man.
Yeah, that's so you grew up out there.
Oh, totally. Still stay there and everything.
Oh, so that's where you still live.
Oh, yeah.
You never want to leave. That a lot of people, they make it and then they want to get out to L.A. or New York or whatever.
I got a place out in L.A., but my home is Kansas City, Missouri. That's where I lay my head. That's where I do the majority of my music and everything. All of my music, pretty much.
So let's talk about your childhood. Were you, you say you were a crazy kid. What kind of stuff were you doing that was so crazy? Did you give your parents a hard time?
Sorry about clearing my throat. I just woke up like 30 minutes ago.
That's all right.
My parents were really religious.
Oh, yeah?
You know what I mean? We're like the Bible Belt, man. You know what I'm saying? We like owned churches. You know, when I was younger, I was in the choir and everything. And whenever you get those teachings, man, it's pretty dark.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like the Holy Ghost and... You know what I mean? Heaven and hell, Satan and everything. So
scares a kid, doesn't it?
Oh yeah. So I think
they were strict with you.
Oh no, not until my mom married a Muslim when I was 12.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, and then a Christian and a Muslim, so I'm a cluster off. You know what I'm saying?
So she marries. Now, what did you think about that? Because
I was 12.
You're 12 years old. You don't even care at that point. You go, forget it. I mean, I remember. I'm not a religious person myself.
Yeah.
But I remember I went when I was a kid. They sent me to Lutheran school when I was a little kid and that kind of stuff. And I really wasn't that into it or whatever. And now I don't go to church or anything. But I was just like, oh, this is so boring. I remember just sitting there. I guess when you're 12, you didn't care. But
well, when he wanted me to change my name, to Khalifa.
Khalifa? Yeah. That's serious.
Yeah. I didn't change my name to Khalifa. Maybe I should have. I would have been Wiz Khalifa or something like that.
Is she still with this guy, your mother?
No. They got divorced years ago. You know what I mean? Mom has epilepsy really bad and diabetes now and lupus. Sad sob story.
What does lupus do to you? I've heard of this. What does that do? What are the symptoms of that?
I don't really know, man. I just know it break down crazy things in your body, man. I don't know, man. I hate that I even brought it up.
You your father, you didn't know your father, though, when you were growing up.
Oh, yeah. I knew my father.
Oh, you did? Oh.
I didn't see him much. He was LAPD. You know what I'm saying? And I lived in Kansas City, Missouri. I remember seeing him when I was 5. I remember seeing him when I was 14. I remember seeing him when I was like 20-something. And I almost saw him like a month ago at Paid Dues. He lives out in San Bernardino, California. And he said he wanted to come to my Paid Dues show. He said, we haven't seen each other for 10 years. It's our 10-year anniversary. Let's do it. But when I got out there to do Paid Dues, it was like 30,000 people trying to use cell phones, you know what I mean? And I had no service. Nobody had any service. Right. So I couldn't tell him where to go, so I didn't get to see him, you know what I mean?
Is there any resentment to your father?
Never.
Really?
I understand how men work because I'm a man. And not all men, you know what I'm saying? But I understand how men meet young women, and sometimes things go down that's not planned to go down, and that's what happened. But look what they made, though, something beautiful.
No, I would think, though, see, my mother was, I was raised by a single mother, too.
Yeah.
But my mother was kind of the opposite, where my mother wanted to get away from the guy. She just figured, this guy's not going to be a good influence on my son. He's not really going anywhere in life, and I want to move on from him. Oh. I would think that there would be almost something in the back of your head that would always be like almost like a sense of abandonment. Like my father didn't want to stick around for me. That seems like that would be hard to cope.
It never bothered me, man, because I had my mom and I had my uncles and I had my aunties. They loved me, man.
So you had some father figures in your life, man, even though your father wasn't around.
And whenever I saw my father, he was super cool. You know what I'm saying? Laid back, Jack Daniels in the hand. You know what I'm saying? It's funny.
So your mother probably had to work extra hard to raise. You have any brothers or sisters?
Oh yeah. I got brothers and sisters.
So she had to probably bust her ass to.
Well, I didn't have brothers and sisters until she married the Muslim when I was 12.
Oh, okay.
So from birth to 12, I was the only child. You know what I mean?
Was that tough to deal with? Because I remember, geez, I almost had the same life as Tech N9ne.
Like twin brothers here.
Yeah, separated at birth.
That's funny.
Right. My mother got married too to stepdad, and I remember. She met him when I was 5. I think they got married when I was maybe like 10 or 11 or something. Totally. And there was, in my mind, I felt almost as if here's a guy coming into my life and he's almost stealing my mother away from me because I was the center of my mother's world. I mean, her life revolved around me. And then when she got married, I really was like, it hurt me because I thought that she was paying too much attention to this guy instead of me.
It happens. When I was a spoiled brat, for real, you know, my mom made sure I had everything I wanted. You know, I was into hip hop, pop locking and break dancing, and when I was in the talent shows in 4th grade, you know what I mean, she'd buy me like baggy slacks and button-up shirts with white gloves so I can do the moonwalk and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So I was spoiled up to. You know, we met.
I did exactly the same thing. I'm the white version of Tech N9ne. I was breakdancing when I was a kid. I mean, and the sad thing, I'm sure you were much better than me. I actually had to go to the hospital because I was breakdancing, and I like screwed up my knee. I had to have fluid removed from my knee because I kept doing like the breakdancing on the cardboard, and it was screwing my knee up, and my knee got all inflamed.
Oh yeah,
I wasn't quite as talented as
I still do it on stage, man. I still do it on stage every night, man.
How did you get into? What made you decide, or was it a very early age that you said, I want to get into entertainment, I want to be a rapper? Did you know from the time you were a kid?
I've always, with rhythm came rhyme. So me being a dancer, like I said, you know, pop locking and break dancing, when I was in 7th grade, I wrote my first rhyme, you know what I mean? And I didn't start doing it professionally till like 90, you know what I mean? But I always knew that I had to do some kind of music, something that has something to do with rhythm. And now my style, you know, it's like Travis Barker says, it reminds him of percussionist, like pistol packing and money making, rapping about the city where killers keep it cracking, too dark and gritty, back in the dizzy. You know what I'm saying? It's like bongos or something. You know what I'm saying?
That is insane that you can even do that. I mean, that's wild. I could not even attempt to do that.
They say it sounds like an auctioneer. You know what I'm
saying? That's insane.
Yeah.
So you just start doing this. You're dancing. You're doing stuff like that.
Yeah, man. And eventually with rhythm came rhyme, you know what I mean? And my friends went on to dance for MC Hammer, you know, No Bones with the hair, and Goofy, and Swoop. All of them went to dance for MC Hammer, like, uh-oh.
And he had those big pants on and everything.
They were all on stage with him.
Oh, that was great.
Yeah, he came to Kansas City, and they had like a contest to see who would be the new dancers for Hammer, and they all won it. You know what I'm saying? I didn't go.
Yeah.
I started on my rhymes. You know what I mean? I used to dance with those guys back in the day. You know, I was the youngin' with them. So they went on to dance for Hammer, and I went on to build the brand Tech N9ne, and I got my name in '88. It was given to me by a guy by the name of Black Walt. He's a gangster.
And is this from the weapon Tech N9ne?
It started off as the weapon. That's why he gave me the name, because my style was like it sounds like a Tech N9ne, but the way we spelled it was T-E-C-H. The gun is spelled T-E-C-9. We spell it N-9-N-E, and the number 9 is the number of completion. And 9 months completes a pregnancy. You know what I'm saying? The whole 9 yards is everything, et cetera, et cetera. You know what I mean? So the complete technique of rhyme, Tech N9ne, I'm every MC in one. I'm everything. You know what I mean? It fits me perfectly.
That's also a guy who's been on our show numerous times from here, Machine Gun Kelly. I think you've been on one of his albums, I believe, as well.
Yes, I'm on his album. I'm on his album, and I just spent his birthday with him in Chicago a couple days ago. He turned 23, and last year he was on tour with me on the 90 shows in 99 days. And we spent his birthday in Vegas. So I've partied with him twice on his birthday. That's my little bro. And
he's kind of he has sort of that same rapid fire style.
Yeah, man. This is the Midwest, man. You know, it's like Bone Thugs and Harmony.
When you saw
Twista.
Machine Gun Kelly the first time, and it's a white guy doing that, were you impressed? No, you weren't shocked or anything.
Well,
huh?
I was impressed that he did it so well. Not because he was white or nothing like that, but because I've seen so many white guys over the years that are choppers, that we call choppers.
What does that mean exactly?
Just like fast
like
rapper.
That?
Yeah, like Twista, like Tech N9ne, like Bone Thugs and Harmony, like Ludacris, like all these guys, even Eminem. You know what I'm saying? So I've seen white guys do it before, but he did it so well, and he landed a deal with Sean Puffy Combs, Puff Daddy. You know what I'm saying? That's a big thing. You know what I mean? And we did the BET Cypher together, and I officially met him that day. You know what I mean?
I've told him. What do you think? You've been doing this for a while, a long while. What are you in your 40s now?
I'm 41.
41.
Yeah.
And he just turned 23. You were out there on his birthday. Now, I've told him. I go, look, man, you gotta. This guy gets a little bit crazy sometimes, and I tell him, I go, you got to be careful. People are going to start suing you now, and he has been sued.
I got to call him, man, because they just told me something in Detroit, like he can't come back. I got to call him and see what happened.
He can't come back to Detroit.
That's what I heard. I got to see if it's real.
He's been banned. What do you have to do to get banned from Detroit?
Man, that's why I got to call him. That's why I got to call him. Like, what happened, dude? Because the promoters are talking to me. I was just there, and they're like, he'll never come back. And I'm like, man, because.
But you probably have seen this before with people that when you're young, you're stupid. You think you're invincible.
I was on tour. He has a song called Invincible, as a matter of fact, I think. But I was on tour with him for 99 days, dude. So I saw some of the things that happened, like like him and his crew having food fights in nice venues in Arizona, and the promoters pissed at us. We got to tell him, calm down, or some stuff might have happened in Seattle where he couldn't do the show, you know what I'm saying? But they are, you know, his single's called Wild Boy. You know what I'm saying? I'm a wild boy. I'm a wild boy. And with Waka Flocka, and it's true. And I was there to calm him down, and he listened to me.
Do you give advice to? Do you find yourself giving advice sometimes to these up and coming guys?
Oh, totally. Even the old school guys. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Just got to be disciplined, man. You know what I'm saying? It's all about relationships, and if you mess that up in the towns, then you can't go make no money. You know what I mean?
Tech N9ne is here with us. He's going to be at the Agora Theater tonight. The doors open up at 7 o'clock.
Yes.
For tickets, call 216-881-2221. So, how old were you when you put out your first record?
I don't know, man. I was in my my first record was The Calm Before the Storm, if I'm not mistaken. Oh no, it was a single called Mitch Bade. I was in my early 20s. And these guys back home put it out, and my town blew up, man. You know what I mean? And I got, you know, a deal with Quincy Jones off of that. in '97.
So you put out the first I was looking at the first record or two that you put out. They sell modestly well. I mean, not a lot of copies of these. And then the next record you put out, it sells a bunch.
Yeah.
What happened? How do you go from selling? I mean, I think one of these records I saw sold like 14,000 copies, and the next one sells like 200,000 or something like that. What happens in the interim?
Well, this is what happens. You do beautiful music and it spreads. Real-ish always shines. You know what I mean? You see how I flip my curse words backwards when I'm on this?
Yes. That's very good. That's very, really thank you for avoiding a fine for me. He must like me. Tech N9ne likes me.
It's all good, man. It's all good. But real-ish always shines, and I make real-ish. You know what I mean? In a good way. Ish in a good way. You know what I mean? You know what that is.
Sure. Right?
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not that white. Come on, man. Come on. I may be very pale, but I got a little bit.
No, it's all good. And that's what happens. It spreads, man, and it's still spreading like a forest fire right now as this moment. And it's just so crazy, so late in my life, man, that my fans are getting younger and younger. I don't know. Maybe it's the sexual music I do. Maybe it's the rock and roll music I do. Maybe it's the dark music I do. Maybe it's the sentimental music I do. Maybe it's the gangster music I do. Maybe it's the confused music I do. I don't know what it is, but I'm going to keep on doing it because the fans are getting younger and their parents are coming too, and you know, girls are showing boobs, and I'm like, I got to ask them, are you old enough to show your boobs to me on stage? You know what I mean?
Well, when you start down this career path, your mother was religious. She marries this Muslim guy. I'm assuming he's not a bundle of fun. What did they think of your path in life?
My mom wished I would do it for the Lord. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you're not going to sell any records doing that. I mean, come on, let's get real here.
You know, tell that to Kirk Franklin, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But my stepfather did not want me to rap. He wanted me, you know, he was the guy, he was the Muslim that wanted me to wear slacks and button-up shirts and ties to school when I wanted to wear stuff like this, Jordans.
Sure,
and,
right.
You know what I mean? He wanted me to dress up.
I grew up in Las Vegas, and I remember they would have, it started freaking people out because they would have the, what is it? What would they call it? Whatever the Muslims are, the black Muslim group, whatever they are a member. I forget whatever the society or whatever.
FOI, Fruit of Islam.
I don't know, but they would. So you would come up to a stoplight in Vegas, and they would all be there dressed like what you're describing,
selling bean pies and giving away Final Call magazines.
Right. And it was really freaking people out in Las Vegas. I remember it being on the news, and they're like, they had to create a whole new law to get people, because they were just walking in and out of traffic while during red lights and going up knocking on your window and stuff. He wanted you to do that kind of stuff. That doesn't sound like a lot of fun for a kid.
Well, I used to be on the corner, you know. I think I handed out Final Call magazine. Maybe I didn't. I don't know. Maybe I saw other kids doing it, but
Did you get into trouble? Like, did you ever get swept up in any of the gang or the drug stuff or anything like that? Or because your mom was kind of, you know, you did get swept up in this?
Yeah. I grew up in a blood neighborhood. You know what I mean? And some habits you can't break.
That's why you have all this red on still.
Yeah, some habits you can't break. You know what I mean? But I wished that we belonged to something, because everybody wants to belong to something. You know what I'm saying? Even like a fraternity or a sorority. But I wish what we belonged to was something way positive than something way negative. But the positive thing about that are my brothers that I grew up around. They're still alive, man. You know what I'm saying? Big Scoob, T. Will, Amjad Bakari, Diamond Shields, all these guys I grew up with. Now, a lot of the younger blood members are dead and gone.
Do you guys ever reminisce and go, man, were we dumb back then? Did we do some dumb stuff?
Oh, yeah. We all know that, you know what I mean, because we have children.
I'll bet you even try to talk to some kids sometimes that you see doing this crazy stuff these days, and it doesn't sink into.
Oh
most
yeah,
of them,
man. You know what I'm saying? I don't let I make sure that my son is colorblind. You know what I mean? And I'm so glad that he latched on to something positive in my life rather than something way negative, because it's way easy to see.
I heard he may get into rap.
Yeah,
your son. He wants to do.
You've been doing your research, man. That's crazy. This is all brand new stuff. But he wants to rap now. He waited till he was 18 to do it. I'm like, but better late than never. Thank God he latched on to something that I did positive music. Even
not following in your gangbanging.
Exactly.
Explain this to me, and this is gonna sound stupid, perhaps, but maybe it's because I'm 37 years old now. But you know, I see these kids, like inner city kids, and they join a gang.
Yeah.
Are you doing this just because you want to fit in and have a group of friends? Are some of these guys who do this, they're not even necessarily bad guys, but they just want to fit in? Because I look at the stuff that these kids, you turn on the news, you see the stuff that these kids are getting killed for. I mean, literally shot and killed. Yeah. And it is nonsense. It is so stupid what all of this violence is based on. It's basically so-and-so looked at me wrong, disrespected me wrong, and people are getting shot and killed over this.
It's a lot of things, man.
Stuff.
Like you said, you grew up in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
If you grew up in a neighborhood in Las Vegas where it was gang banging,
there was a lot of gang activity that moved in from California in Las Vegas.
But if it lived on your block, you would be affiliated no matter what.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And those guys went to elementary school with you.
Yeah.
And middle school with you and high school with you. So you living on that block, you could get shot going to the wrong block. And you don't even have to be a gangbanger. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I was affiliated because I lived in the area.
Now, you seem like a very thoughtful guy.
Totally.
When you were hanging out with these guys, I'm assuming there was stuff that was going on that was illegal, unsavory, bad things that was going on.
Once again, those are the guys that I went to school with. Those are my brothers now. The things that happened in the hood.
Did you at the time regret doing any of this kind of stuff? You didn't. No. I mean, because you seem like a very thoughtful guy. I would think that you would have a conscience. I'm just saying, just as an example, for instance, let's say you just go and you guys jump some guy and beat him to a bloody pulp.
Not for no color though. Not for no color, but if there's things going on in your neighborhood and people move in and try to take over that, then therefore there's going to be a war. It happens in America everywhere since day one.
And there was no regret at the time, but now you look back and you go, that was really stupid.
Yeah. You know, and it's nonsense no matter what, but one thing I will never apologize for is having the love for those brothers, man. Even though we belong to something way negative, those are my brothers to this day, and I'll do anything for them, dog.
Let me ask you,
I've signed my OG Big Scoop to my label.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, and it's a beautiful thing. He has a wonderful voice, a wonderful, thoughtful mind. He has girls. You know what I mean. What I mean by girls, he has little girls. He raised like 4 little girls. You know what I mean. Wonderful guy, man, and I will never take that away. But we're grown now. And we look back on that and like, wow, we were crazy.
And you're lucky to be alive.
Oh,
probably.
Totally, man, totally.
When you this also shows my ignorance of the whole situation. It's Snoop Dogg or Snoop Lion or whatever he's called now.
Both.
He was a Crip, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's say that you and him, let's say you're at the BET Awards or something like that.
That's my brother.
Is there any sort of, because you were a Blood, he was a Crip,
Don't matter.
But now it's all cool, everyone gets along like that.
It's like Brother Lynch Hung is on my label. You know what I mean? He's a Crip from way back in the day. It don't matter what hood you're from. It don't matter what kind of soldier you are. You know what I mean? From man to man, Snoop Lion is my bro. He's on my last album. You know, I'm sizzling. Wonderful. We've done shows together. A lot of Crip homeboys that we run into on the road. Glasses Malone, that's my brother. You know what I mean? And you know, we're lucky to not have animosity with the other side due to respect.
Yeah.
Because we don't go around, you know, set tripping. Set tripping is like throwing up signs, disrespectful signs when you know that there's another guy from another battalion over there.
So you never got all swept up in the actual rap. Once you got into entertainment and you're doing rap, you're starting to put out albums and that kind of stuff. You didn't get swept up in some of this crap that some of this whole East Coast, West Coast, or Blood versus Crip or any of that kind of stuff. You just wanted to put out albums.
Yeah, man. You know, it's about music, man, and you'll hear it seep through from time to time, like on the Carter 4. You know what I'm saying? I sit at the end, Sue Woo business, and it's a blood call. You know what I mean? But I don't plaster it everywhere, man, because it's a blemish for real.
Now, and then I'll move on from this. But when you do this blood call, what is it? Sue Woo what?
Sue Woo.
Sue Woo, okay. What does that mean?
It's Swahili for I'll kick your ass.
Do you when you put this on Lil Wayne album or whatever? Do you ever think to yourself, though, that now that you're older, you were lucky that you're still alive and that kind of stuff? Do you ever think to yourself, am I perpetuating this kind of lifestyle for kids these days who aren't as smart as I am, who are doing this kind of nonsense that we were just talking about?
It all starts in the home. I have children. They are not gangbangers. It all starts in the home. If there was a parent there that cared, the Sandy Hooks thing wouldn't have happened. The Columbine thing wouldn't have happened. If a father figure was there and a mother was there paying attention, the Timothy McVeigh thing would not happen if there were parents there watching these people and not... They shouldn't be able to learn how to build bombs. My kids don't know how to build no bombs. My kids don't know how to load no guns because we're right there. You know, luckily, when I'm out here on the road, I have their mothers that are like drill sergeants, you know what I'm saying? Thank the Lord. It all starts in the home.
What happens if one of your sons, Tech N9ne is here with us. He's going to be at the Agora
One son,
tonight.
2 girls.
If your son or one of your girls does something while you're out on the road, the mother calls up and says, hey,
yes.
listen, what do? You get on the phone and you go, listen, I'm going to break a boot off in your ass when I get back if you don't knock it off.
Exactly. You don't yell at your mama. If your mama's getting on your nerves, you don't say nothing.
Yeah.
Respect.
Are you married now? You have a girlfriend, or what's your personal life like?
Why you gonna ask me something like that when it's Twitter and everything?
Hey, no one's listening to this show.
Are you
right?
crazy? I've been married for a long time. Separated for 9 years. You know what I'm saying?
But you're still married, but you're separated. For 9 years.
Yeah.
Is it just because you can't get along in a marriage, but you still respect the woman, you love the woman to some extent, you just can't be living with her? And is that what it is?
Well,
I can understand that.
It's impossible to be with a guy that's always gone, and I want her to have a life. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And
you want to have a life too when you're out on the road and stuff. I mean, right? I mean,
I used to have a life like that when I was out on the road. You know what I'm saying? But I used to mess with groupies a lot, man. But now I got kids that are 18 that's on YouTube, not YouTube, but
on Twitter and
on
Facebook
Twitter
and
Facebook,
stuff.
And they don't want to see daddy being a hoe.
So it gets old after a while. The older that you get, you don't.
You're gonna always have somebody that loves you for real. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I have to appear available to women, and you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
That's all I'm gonna say, man. That's a serious subject.
You get with Lil Wayne's in jail, and you go and you visit. Not right now.
Oh,
but
okay.
in the past.
Oh yeah. I went to Rikers.
You're like, wow, you really are on top of stuff. He's in jail right this second. What happened?
It's I didn't even know that. I just talked to him last week.
No. So you go. He was in jail a while ago.
Yeah.
And you go in to visit him, and you guys become close from that, right?
Yeah, man. It was crazy. I didn't know what I was going to talk to him about for an hour.
Did you know him?
No.
Well, you didn't know him at all.
No,
really.
no. I was going to New York to do press week. And my OG Muggs out here, you know what I mean, hooked up with some of, because he had said something from prison. Funkmaster Flex asked him, who does he want to work with when he gets out? And he said, my man Tech N9ne and Andre 3000. And he ends up putting us on the same song on his album. Wow. You know what I mean? It was beautiful. He didn't have to do that, man. But after he said that, I had no idea he knew me. You know what I'm saying? I was in the studio writing, and my OG Big Scoop said, you heard about Wayne? I'm like, what happened with Wayne? He's like, no, he said your name. I'm like, no.
That's got to be flattering.
Oh,
right?
yeah, man, because I'm an underground artist. You know what I'm saying? It's like I've never been that big mainstream artist. You know, it's always been underground. It's always been growing and bleeding over to the mainstream. But it's like me being in Strangeland. What I mean by Strangeland, my label is called Strange Music, inspired by The Doors. I'm a big Jim Morrison, John Densmore, Ray Manzarek, Robbie Krieger fan, and without their music, I wouldn't have Strange Music. So me being that guy, I had no idea that my music had reached that far to Wayne. You know what I mean? And I went in. The OGs hooked it up for me to meet him when I was out in New York. And we talked for 3 hours, man, before the warden came and broke it up, man. And he said, when I get out, it's on.
So you go in there, and he's sitting there. He's probably just happy to get visitors and stuff, too. I mean, being in jail's got to suck.
Yeah,
I would last 2 seconds in jail. I wouldn't be able to handle that.
I couldn't picture him in that orange jumpsuit, man. And I didn't want to see him like that.
What do you guys talk about for the 3 hours when you're in there?
Oh, man. Everything. Religious beliefs, what people think in there, like OGs telling him, if there was a God, why would this happen? You know, why would 9/11 happen if there was a God? And then, you know, he kept his faith in God still, you know what I mean? And that's cool.
So you were almost like you were mentoring Lil Wayne to some extent while he was in there.
Nah, we were just sharing stories, man, you know what I mean? And we talked about women. We love women, you know what I mean? We talked about a lot of women. We talked about...
You guys ever tap the same chick? You know, like
no.
You ever like, yeah, I did this chick, and he's like, I just did her last week.
No. I'm sure I don't know what he does, you know what I'm saying? But we talked about T.I., we talked about Kanye coming up there, rapping his whole album to him and sweating and taking off his jacket and just busting like lyrics for Wayne, you know? Yeah. And yeah, it was a good conversation, man. I had no idea that we'd had that much in common.
So you guys really hit it off, basically.
Yeah, because I told him like a lot of my people after my first major release of Angelic in 2001, a lot of my people thought I was a devil worshiper because of the imagery. You know, me being the religious guy that I am, my mom being a Christian and my stepfather being a Muslim, that made me a cluster off, like I said. So that comes through in my music. So Angelic was like an angel in hell. Angelic, not angelic, but angelic. You know, I'm good and bad. It's been my whole thing. An angel would live in a bad world. You know what I'm saying? The whole thing. So a lot of my people stopped coming to my shows and buying my music because they thought I was a devil worshiper. And I told Wayne that story. He said, they think the same thing about me too. I had no idea.
Someone just sent me a text. Tech N9ne is Illuminati. Now,
oh my goodness.
Is that the weird secret society? Is that what that is? Or is that like some rap thing? So yeah, the Illuminati.
Why do they say that about me? Do they say that because I'm smart?
I don't know.
No.
Are you part of some secret society that rules the world behind everyone behind the scenes or something?
Yeah, Suwoo business.
That's Swahili for I'm going to kick your ass.
Yeah. Me and my OG Big Screw, we read those Illuminati books a long time ago, and I got my own fans to worry about, dude. I don't have no time for no guys saying I'll show you where the money is if you do this for me on a later day. What if it's something that I don't agree to? You know what I'm saying? I also, weren't you in a movie or something, or a couple of movies, right? Or someone said that you were going to be in a movie. Someone sent me a text. Oh yeah, I can't really remember what movie, but I think it's Night of the Living Dead Origins. I think it's like shot like Avatar. I had to go put on the CGI helmet and make faces and I die in the first scene. But
so it hasn't come out yet?
Oh no. I think they're still building.
They're working on it right now. So that's going to be coming out.
I know I did a lot of the music for the Alpha Dog movie, the Nick Cassavetes movie, Alpha Dog. You know,
that was a pretty good movie. We were just talking about that the other day.
Justin Timberlake.
Yeah,
that's actually a pretty good movie.
Oh, it's a really good movie, man. I had to take it from L.A. to Kansas City to do it, and I was at the airport when Nick Cassavetes, he gave it to me in L.A., and I had to go to the airport and listen. I had to tell the people at the airport, this is a multi-million-dollar movie. If it goes through this scanner and it erases, I'm gonna sue everybody. And, sir, we have it. You know what I'm saying? So I got it back home, and I've never done a movie. I took the job without knowing how to do it, how to score a movie.
Yeah.
But it was Nick Cassavetes. You know what I'm saying? And he loved my music. He found my music. He found my second album, Absolute Power, him and his girl Queenie, and he called me on the number on the back of the CD.
No kidding.
You're a really smart guy, Tech. You know, that's how he talk. He's like, I want you to do my Often movie. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what? What do you want me to do?
Does they pay pretty well, that kind of a gig?
Yeah. It was good, man. It was good.
What do you make the most money from? From touring? From record sales? Or how do you make most of your money?
Well, I've been doing it for a long time, so I get money off of all that. But we have merchandise. We're Nordstrom for real. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to merchandise.
Oh, really?
Yeah, man. And I should have my own cologne and everything by now, you know what I'm saying? I'm actually gonna have my own liquor really soon, and I'm sorry, that's my contribution to society.
What kind of liquor are you gonna have?
Caribou Lou is one big one that's everywhere. People love it. I came up with it in 1995. I'm fighting Caribou Coffee right now for like the 5th month or something.
Are they trying to sue you, or you're suing them?
No, they don't want me to use the word caribou. Like you didn't. I'm not supposed to be talking about this.
Right,
yeah, they didn't invent the animal.
That's like, would you remember Oprah? She tried to sue people who used the aha moment. She's like, I invented aha. I had an aha moment.
Oh, my God.
Like, what are you talking
what? So
Drake tried to trademark YOLO, even though there's like documents of people using that before him. But hey, because he's Drake, he wanted to.
I feel like it's a new song on a new album that's coming out called Something Else. The album's called Something Else, and I have a song on there called Fortune Force Field that's talking about things that are trying to keep me away from that fortune. I said, why you want to try to take my bill ticket? You know what I'm saying? This is my bill ticket. You know what I mean? Not meal ticket. This is my bill ticket.
Yeah.
Caribou Lou is so humongous, man. You know what I mean? And here comes Caribou Coffee. Like, no, we don't want our fans to think we sell alcohol.
I'm pretty sure that they're not really confused. I have a feeling that no one really thinks Caribou Coffee is putting out that liquor.
I am from the ghetto of Kansas City. We don't drink coffee. And Caribou Coffee back then, we didn't know about that.
Never even heard of it, right?
No, not even in '95 when we came up with Caribou Lou.
Sounds like you have money flowing in from all sorts of different things.
Yeah, man.
I mean, this guy's multi-talented.
Yeah.
Listen, Tech N9ne, I like you, man. I didn't know how you'd be, but I like this guy. I like Tech N9ne.
I'm glad, man. I'm glad. I got a lot of beautiful music, man.
Tech N9ne's going to be at the Agora Theater tonight at 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
For tickets, call this number, 216-881-2221. That's 216-881-2221.
And we've been coming here for a long time, man, for a lot of years.
Good following here?
I mean, we've done Peabody. So it's so hot in Peabody's. Oh my God.
It's a little small. It's like smaller places. Sweatbox.
Yeah, that's a sweatbox. You ever been to a show at Peabody's that's packed?
I haven't been to a show there in many, many years, but I know what you're talking about.
Oh my goodness. They got to open up the back door in this wintertime.
Well, you're at a bigger place.
Yeah, Agora.
TheRealTech9.com is his website, and instead of an I, it's the number 9.
Yeah, N9NE. You can find me on Twitter at Tech9. You know what I'm saying? But if you want to find out anything about Tech9, you go to www.therealtech9.com, and you can find everything from tour dates, from merchandise, from gossip on our blog page, whatever it is, man. You know what I mean? It's all about Tech N9ne.
You can find the latest news, how I'm going to be on one of his singles. I'm collaborating with him. We're going to be in the studio.
Yeah, we're going to talk about how we used to break dance and mess up our knee and get fluid out of our knee.
Oh, yeah, that will sell some albums for you. That'll be good, of course.
And then at the end of it, you're going to say Suwu business.
Right. Now, I don't want to say that if that's going to get me beat up by a Crip, though.
Yeah,
don't get me involved in this kind of stuff.
You're not going to get beat up by a Crip because you're with Tech N9ne.
All right.
OG Muggs just walked in, you know what I'm sizzling.
He's going to take a picture.
Inglewood Muggs.
All right.
You know what I'm saying?
Listen, have a good time at this show tonight.
Oh, it's going to be massive. I have Ritz is in the house. His album is about to drop next week. I think we're going to start selling it tonight, maybe. You know what I mean? I got to call my partner and see. But Seth's crew is here with me. They're elite. Cut Calhoun, Chris Calico, Triz, Brother Lynch Hung. We're all gonna be in the house tonight, man, and it's gonna be such a party like it always is in Cleveland. Much love, Tech N9ne.
Come out and see him at the Agora Theater tonight. Tech N9ne, I appreciate you coming in, my man. I'm gonna take a quick break. We'll be right back on Rover's Morning Glory. Hang on.